Hello and welcome to another Velvet Revolution. I'm totally out of sync as to what number we're on. I want to say 17, but could be 16.
A, B, C, D.
I haven't got enough fingers,
I
mate.
can't be asked. Can't be asked.
Welcome to another Velvet Revolution with myself, Ben Rice, and Dave Noble. And how are you doing today, Dave?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing okay. Put on a little voice there. I don't know why.
I don't know where that's come from.
I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling playful.
Playful. Okay.
Extra fabulously playful. I don't know why. I just feel playful. It's my inner
Mm.
child wants to run around the playground and climb up the climbing frame and jump off onto someone's head and disrupt and flail my arms around and dance, do the
Mhm.
running man. I don't know. It's a lot of things I want to do by the sounds of it. Just waking up feeling playful. Life's good. I feel, do I have a reason for it? I don't know. Just living my best life, I guess, and I'm happy about that. Does that sound smug? I don't know.
No, no, I
Shouldn't
think
be. Why am I second guessing myself? Oh, does that sound smug?
yeah.
Fuck that. No, I want to say it. I feel good. I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't need a fucking excuse. What's the word? Don't need to.
Reason to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
You sound excitable, my friend. Excitable.
Well, yeah. I mean, I am because I'm gonna go after this. After we've recorded, I'm gonna go up to the city. I'm going to the Big Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I've just woken up. Spontaneity is a big. I'm a big fan of spontaneity. Just I'm gonna do this and then go and do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's impulsiveness
Mm.
as well, but it's not always a bad thing. Spontaneity for me is a very, very good thing because it means you're in the moment.
Mm.
It's like conscious stream of like as it happens live. Oh, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah.
So I've decided to go to the city for a bit of action because, as you know, I live out in the wilds and I've got my car back, so I could get the train up, be like a
Mm-hmm.
couple of hours train to the city, but I'm gonna have a little cruise up because I've missed driving, so I'm gonna have a nice little drive up to the city. And I have got a motive other than just getting a bit of a buzz on because I miss the buzz because I'm
Yeah.
from not far from London, so I miss the buzz now and again. I love the wilds, but I love the buzz of the city as well, and I feel like I need to tap into it. And but I'm gonna go and seek out a music store, and I'm really hoping they're gonna have it in stock. What I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to get a new foot pedal because I watched something last night and I saw the foot pedal that I want and I heard the foot pedal in action. And so I'm hoping they'll have it in stock. The Big Muff is what it's called. Yes, everyone listening, you heard that right. It's called a Big Muff. And if you're wondering, for anyone that doesn't know what a Big Muff foot pedal is, effects pedal for an electric guitar or a keyboard.
Okay.
You could run it through a synth or something like that. Is a Big Muff is an effects pedal that makes your sound fuzzy. It's a distortion pedal,
Okay.
classic.
Classic 90s indie rock,
Yeah,
fuzzy
yeah.
grunge sound.
Dinosaur Junior
Nice.
vibes, Sonic Youth maybe, and all the others.
Lovely.
Anyway, that's me. I'm
That's you.
happy because I'm getting Big Muff today. Hopefully.
Okay. 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 Don't know quite how to follow that up, but I'm loving the impulsivity and the yeah, to just do it attitude. I'm yeah, I'm still procrastinating, I've decided. I'm still just waiting for that bolt of lightning. And it doesn't ever happen, does it? You've just got to, I mean, we talked about this last week, but that yeah, So it's a setting I get into, that waiting for inspiration setting when actually I just need to get up and do the work.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Still recovering from my operation. Still spending a lot of time not sitting. Um, but yeah, just I'm hoping at some point there'll be a sudden resurgence of energy and of like of ability to just do something.
I've just had a thought, right?
Oh,
Because I did say I'd brainstorm it
mm-hmm,
last episode. I do vividly remember, like we was talking towards the end about, it must be. I can only imagine. I've had operations where I've had to recover, and it is. It's like, oh, is it ever gonna? Am I ever gonna be healed?
mm-hmm,
And I can't even imagine, because of what you're going through. But I had a thought of like the problem is where it is on your body.
mm-hmm,
You can't sit without it being discomfort. Walking, I
mm-hmm,
would imagine.
mm-hmm,
So surely, if you're on your front in life, just horizontal, lying
mm-hmm,
down on your front, that is probably the most practical way to place your wound,
mm-hmm.
your arse cave, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that right? Do you reckon?
yeah, yeah. Either on my side or on my front
Do you
is the
get
most comfortable.
and you get respite
Mm,
momentarily? Well,
yeah.
so I'm just thinking practically, is there a way of um, creating a situation in your life going forward where you can be on your front more
Mm,
somehow? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Just thinking outside the box. How could you
yeah.
live your life for the next few weeks going
On my
forward
front,
on your front?
on a bodyboard, surfing, maybe. Maybe
I don't
that's just
know.
to hit the water.
Like I'm thinking, like something that you lie on that you drop your arms through, so it's got holes.
And like a
And yeah,
massage table.
yeah, and you put your face through it, so you can, and then drop your arms through, and maybe even your legs up to like
Yeah,
your groin. So you sort of like down, like facing down,
yeah.
and you can sort of, I don't know, maybe it's got wheels on it. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box.
It sounds highly complicated.
And then you could get Dave, your can I say Dave on here?
I think you can, yeah.
The guy that you live with, Dave, your apartment buddy. Is that
Yeah.
right? Am I right
Mhm,
saying that? Yeah.
mhm.
Um, to take you out to the shops and that, like
What, wheel me around?
like a shopping trolley.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
this
know.
is getting more and more it's gonna turn into,
I don't know.
yeah, something quite wrong.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, look, you do know it's with love what I'm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's all suggestions welcome. Gotta make light of the situation. Jeez.
Oh, mate. Anyway, yeah. So other than that, everything all right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been, yeah, just trying to think what I've done this week. Just watched more stuff. Can't even remember what I've watched at the moment. Oh, I watched that, How to Be a Girl? Is that I think that's the right title. It's a BBC drama based on a book by a trans person, and it's about their real life journey of coming from a high level of dysfunction into finding a sort of way forward in life that was not going to get them killed. I guess at one point they end up being a rent boy and really addicted to various substances and various experiences. And yeah, really powerful drama. Actually, really enjoyed that.
Mm,
Recommend that to anybody who's interested. Yeah,
not heard of
good.
it.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It reminded me of a few students I've taught,
Uh,
and very very destructive because they came from a very dysfunctional, trauma filled childhood.
mm-hmm.
The lack of self worth presented as a real, um, just a really sort of nasty, sort of vindictive. I'm going to try. How can I hurt myself as much as possible before anyone else hurts me?
Mm,
So really difficult to like and really difficult to love and break through that because they destroyed it. Anybody that tried to get close to them, they destroy it.
mm. Fuck
Um,
you.
yeah,
Fuck me.
yeah,
Fuck
uh,
it all.
yeah. But yeah, but ultimately comes out the other end with, well, they end up going to prison. I'm probably spoiling it far too much anyway, but it's all in a book, and I saw them talking on a chat show the other day, and they were yeah, it's really powerful.
Cool.
So yeah, a really good drama, really really well done.
Mm,
And again, it's that insight. It's like when you're put with someone who you find so objectionable, you find them so difficult to even just like on a basic level. I it, you know, when you watch that whole story, you're going, well, there's no wonder they're like that. There's no wonder, having come from where they've come from. I mean, the fact they're even alive is a miracle. So I
mm,
think it's really, that's for me is probably the takeaway I would get, is that whenever you meet someone, however objectionable they are, and there's quite a few objectionable people in the world at the moment. Why are they that objectionable? What has happened to them to get them to that point?
mm,
And I only think it's through conversation, through connection, that anyone's ever going to come out the other side.
mm,
Um, yeah, and you could see that in this story. There was a couple of people that were just there and carried on believing and enabled them to pull themselves through.
mm. And what comes up for me is making peace.
Yeah, yeah,
Making peace with themselves, maybe. Excuse me. Making peace with themselves and their past,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but can only imagine.
Mm.
Cool. Okay. All right.
What
So,
what are we on today? We're on the letter Q.
yes, it's your turn to pick.
Yeah.
So do you want to get to it? Do you want to have a look at the? Let me pull it up as well. I don't need to. I'm not gonna bother. You can do it.
Okay. So we have. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Querulous, quiet, queasy, quarrel, quell, questionable, queer, quirky, quivery, and quibble.
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 um. Okay. They all. It's a weird one, but because they're all Q's, right? Now, it's limited. Q is a limited pronunciation. Is that the right word?
Mm.
It's a limited in the English um the I can't put I don't know how to say it, but you know what I mean. It's only got a certain. It's limited to how many ways you can use the letter Q and a word with Q starting with Q. You know, it's question, queer, queen. Not that that was on the list, but you know what I mean. It's
Mm.
the QUE. There's only a certain variation of how to pronounce it, the pronunciation of it. So we're limited on this one, I think.
Yeah, yeah. We're struggling to find different traits and emotions around Q. Because I'm looking at some of these and thinking I don't really even know what they mean.
We can look them up in a dictionary because
Yeah.
I believe that's why they're in there. Because we probably, I know we did. We was like, okay, because we did. We've been inspired by other lists and we've thrown stuff into the mix. But anyone listening, if you can be asked, you got anything for the next round? We'd be very grateful for any alternatives that we might have missed or just overlooked. But yeah, so we're limited, I feel, on this one. But it's not undoable.
It's not undoable. Right, I'm gonna go with quiet, I think.
Ooh, Is that because you understand what it means?
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely I'm okay with that one. Okay with that one.
Alright, do you wanna red line it?
Yeah, I'll redline that one. Okay.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you,
Mhm.
I wanna land on you for this.
Yep.
Definitely. I'm gonna take a back seat.
Okay.
Um, why?
Um, so I'm just thinking of a quote in my head, um, about, uh, leadership or, uh, yeah, about I mean, I 'cause I don't think I'm particularly loud, and I feel that that has meant that at times I I can be quite passive. I can
Mm,
let things go and I'm quite happy to listen. And I think I know this is from my perspective and my take on the world. So I think a lot of the time I see that the loudest voice in the room is the one that gets the kudos, gets the sort of recognition. And I think it's quite often the person that talks the loudest or shouts the most in the space is the one that takes the lead. And I I want to sort of look at that idea, I guess, of or yeah, sorry, the way it's speaking to me is that idea of the quiet person, the shy person, the the afraid person, I guess, in a way of putting their voice forward because they don't think it's going to get the recognition or the space it deserves. Like that lack of self worth or the security in what you're talking about. So that's why, yeah, quiet spoke to me because I think I have lots of experience of being in rooms with very loud people who uh, who don't listen, and I think people see that as a skill and as a strength, and actually, it's not. And I think there's lots and lots of very quiet people out there at the moment who are
yeah.
going, "What the hell is going on?" But I don't really know how to get my voice heard.
Okay. So I like that. Thank you for sharing it. What came up for me was this well-known CEO, entrepreneur, businessman who created an incredible, well, I think it's incredible. I don't know if it still is, but it was at the time. It was a very innovative um, corporation that was doing good work, and he was a really. I'm not going to name him because I don't want to be misquoted, and what I'm saying is inaccurate. It's just what I understand is true, maybe. But he was someone who was a people person. He really would talk to the cleaner of say the headquarters where the office was, and he'd go in. When he was there, he'd go in and he'd talk to everyone from the ground up. He wasn't one of those people who would just be a wanker about
Mhm.
things. He was a good person, and he'd have time for the little guy,
Mm,
you know, or little woman or whatever. Like I say, the toilet cleaner, he would actually know their name and talk to them. Say, how's your cat?
yep.
Or whatever. He'd know about their lives. He'd make a point of knowing about them. I really like people like that.
Mhm,
It's a really beautiful, beautiful um, show of humanity. It's a
mhm,
display of humanity. I think that's a really beautiful thing. But he was someone that was known to sit in the big meetings
mhm,
with all these power people that, because behind every great company and corporation and great CEO or or chief, whatever you want to call them,
mhm,
founder, is a good team
mm,
of people that do things probably better than you do, but you're just smart enough and have enough humility to not think you can do it all by yourself, and you hand some of that power over to other people and skill. And apparently he was really good at he'd just sit in complete silence, quiet as a mouse, and just listen to the proceedings of what was going on. And he wouldn't fill the space or raise his voice or chip in or, unless he felt it was really relevant. He'd just sit back, kick back, and know his place within that. It shows an immense strength of character, self awareness, immense humility to be able to do that.
Mm.
So, um, yeah, and I think he's not alone. There's a lot of people that do that. Sort of backing up what you're saying there. That it's not necessarily the loudest voice in the room is the one that has all the answers, right?
Mm. I can't find the exact quote, but I found one which is from apparently it's from American Gangster, which I don't have seen it, but Denzel Washington plays a character and it says it. But basically, the loudest voice in the room is the weakest. It's suggesting that that they're overcompensating for a lack of genuine strength, influence, or confidence,
Mm.
and that a true power and wisdom is found in those who are more measured and thoughtful in their communication. So I think there's another one. Don't listen to the loudest voice in the room. Listen for the truest one.
Mm. Yeah, I like that.
So I think it goes along with that idea of yeah. I think people are scared of silence. I think people are scared for there to be a gap in the conversation. I know we've done having doing a podcast. It'd be really odd if for us just to sit here for a minute in silence, and people would absolutely freak out. This is that idea that you there is a gap, there's a space, and but I think it's a very very powerful thing. Silence. I think it's a very um, true silence when there's more than one of you in a room or a space, and you actually can sit in silence together. There is a sort of energy, a strange energy that appears in the room. What was I listening to the other day? Something about musicians as well. The great musicians are the ones that find the silence. Was that Idaho documentary you were talking to me about?
Might have
Yeah,
been, yeah. But
like the fact that he was a genius is because he found the spaces in the music. He found what not to say rather than what to
yeah,
say.
yeah, and I was that's exactly what I was going to come in with and say, and I was just thinking, especially with piano,
Hmm.
and with all music, but piano for me, like I'm not proclaiming to be an accomplished pianist because I'm not, but I have one at home, not a proper grand one, but it's a digital version, and it's my piano. I love it, and I like to play Tinker on the Ivories. And for me, I play by ear. Can't read or write music. I'm a complete and utter outcast in that world. I'm not. I'm not one of them people that will stretch his hands out. Like do the whole hand stretch thing and then get on and compose themselves and ding, 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 all of that. I don't want to be one of those people
But
because
you have got your Liberace, sparkly, tuxedo, yeah?
yes, yeah, it's actually a onesie. But but what I get a lot of joy from is, yeah, what you're saying. It's where where the resonance of the note when it plays out and then you let it play out and you hold the space. You hold the space and then you come in. And that is the most beautiful um drop.
Mhm.
It's like EDM terminology. It's like you got the build up, and it sort of you got the break. But in EDM, it's not a long break because it's so fucking like ding, 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 whatever. But with piano, especially, you can do that with anything though. But I'm just talking about piano. The resonance of the tune plays out, the note plays out,
Mhm.
reverberates a little bit maybe, and then you drop it in. And that could go on for as long as you want it to.
Mm.
Tease it out. And it's like, it's interesting to how long you can do that. It's like, where you at with that? You know,
Yeah.
are you in harmony with that resonance of allowing it to just that space to stretch that space out,
Mm.
that silence as it fades out into silence, and then just to have a little pause, little breath, and ding, and then next note comes in. It's like that's the most beautiful note. The next one.
Yeah, yeah. It feels a little bit like, there was a comedian that I can't remember what show it was on, but he would see how long he could hold someone's hand and shake their hand for. Do you remember
Mm,
that? And I and again, it's that sort of same sort of that same sort of awkward energy of a silence, of someone shaking your hand. And I remember working with this guy, and his mum was I can't remember if she was a midwife or a nurse of some sort. She was definitely medical and had
mhm,
this sort of connection. And he warned me. He said, when you meet her, she'll shake your hand and she won't let go. I'm like, what? And he's like, no, she'll hold your hand because she'll be vibing you. She'll be finding she'll be taking like a measure of what your energy is. And I was like, no, no, she won't. And sure enough, when I did meet her, she held my hand and she was just shaking it and holding it. And I was like, this is getting, and I just, automatically I'm getting really uncomfortable. And that I think I ended up sort of maybe jerking my hand away and feeling like, oh my God, I've just offended her. I've been really awful. But it is that same sort of feeling of, there's silence in the space. There's, what do I fill this silence with? Am I okay with the silence? Like, if someone is sitting there, I mean, the classic one would be, I guess, if someone is really, really upset. So if you've got a human being next to you that's sobbing their heart out and is really, really struggling, you know, the ability to just sit there and just say it's okay is not something that's very easily done, I don't think, especially, well, I'm talking from personal experience here, but definitely in the past, there's been a sort of desire to, how do I stop this person from crying as quickly as possible? How do I make them feel better as quickly as possible? How do I fix it? How do I fill this silence? Because it's really uncomfortable and really awkward for me to sit here in the
mm,
quiet and just let this person cry,
mm.
because that's what they need to do at this moment in time.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to think of another emotion where you would just watch. I mean, maybe it is all emotions, but I just think, if someone was really angry and was smashing shit up, then you'd probably try and hold them or stop them in some way if you're
yeah.
feeling strong enough, or you might just walk away.
So what's coming up for me is ego,
Hmm.
right? So my understanding of, and let me explain. My understanding of this is, let me give an example, right? So road rage,
Yeah.
right? So, which I think maybe everyone can relate to. I've been behind my car I went for one drive, picked my car up yesterday, and I came back, and already I felt like, oh no, I've just remembered this is what I've got to deal with when driving other
Hmm.
people, right? And where am I at? You know, I recently did a speed awareness course.
Hmm.
I wish I had my notes. I did write notes.
Did you?
Yeah, I wrote notes. Yeah,
Oh.
they said bring a pen and pad. I had like pencil,
Hmm.
pad, and I did scribble some notes. I've still got them in a notepad.
Hmm.
Um, and I think one of the things that came up was they were starting to, because I did the speed awareness course 3 years prior, and since then they've brought more sort of like well-being into it.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
getting with the program.
Yeah.
So they've brought more sort of awareness of like where we at, check yourself before you wreck yourself kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that came up was, are you in the right headspace to be behind the wheel?
Mm.
You need to drive right now. Well, yeah, I've got to get to work. Okay, well, maybe sit. And this is what they were saying is maybe sit and just take 5 minutes. Just breathe. Just chill out a minute. Don't be getting behind the wheel angry or
Hmm.
stressed. Because, so we're on the road and I've got to talk for myself as much as my observations of other drivers.
Hmm.
And it is a fucking judgment. It is a judgment. I'm judging the situation as it happens. And I'm going to judge it because if I've got someone up my arse because they're maybe doing what the guy instructor said to do, which is don't get behind the wheel if you're stressed or late or whatever
Mhm.
and angry or whatever's going on for you. Just to chill, just get rid of that. Sit and just be for a bit, breathe, relax, drop your shoulders, then get behind the wheel. Then you won't get up someone's ass and cause them stress or anxiety. And depending on where your head's at, if I'm in a zone of like, I'm at ease, man, I'm not worried about this dick up my fucking backside. I'm just going to ignore him. He'll be up my ass all he wants. I'm not going any faster because I've just done a speed awareness course. So I'm cruising. So I'm doing exactly what I'm saying, which is just breathe, chill, silence. It's okay, don't react. But if my head's not in that place, then the ego's going to kick in. Because me being calm, quiet, breathing, chill, grounded, ego's not in the driving seat, right? It's more like authenticity. It's like where you're grounded in your more like your true nature. But if I'm not in that place and I can't catch it and I can't regulate that and bring myself to be in that place and anchor myself in that state of being, and my ego kicks in, then it's going to be a very different scenario. You motherfucker, all of that starts happening, start flipping people off, and it starts, all of that road rage battle. And before you know it, you're in the movie Duel.
Fuel or Mad Max, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, so I don't know if anyone can relate to what I'm saying, but you know, when you're in a chilled space, in that inner peace, in a sanctuary of silence and quietness in your mind and in your body, when you feeling in the zone, chill, super chill, your outcomes are going to be very different to when you're in that ego, because someone up your ass, that's ego driven. They're in all of the ego kind of vibrational responses to life.
Mm.
Right. Fuck you, come on, fuck you, get out of the way, fucking come on, stop, speed up. Um, bibbing the and all that stuff. Do we react to that? Does our ego take the bait? Does it get in the ring? Does it put the gloves on and start to get into it with the other ego?
Mm.
And then, there we have it. Good old traditional road rage slanging match. That happens everywhere you go when you're out in life. That happens.
Do you think your life has been quieter for not having a car? How long have you not had a car for? How long has it been being fixed for?
I was in as a month, 4 weeks.
Do you think it's been quieter because of that?
Yeah, but I've had cabin fever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like you said today, like you're gonna go and find some
Mm,
town energy and find some busyness.
mm.
Like,
I've had lots of stillness, yeah. And you can go quietly mad in that stillness if you're not doing
yeah.
the right things. Now, I had a couple of days like that where I just felt like, I just felt a bit, I'm a bit like a condor.
Wasn't there a superhero called Condor Man? Wasn't there some dreadful 80s film called Condor
I
Man?
don't know if
I'm
there
gonna
isn't,
find that.
there should be one. But I'm like a condor. Now,
Mhm.
I don't want to say too much because I'm writing another book on
On being a condor.
no, but I think the part I wrote, and this is going to be copywritten as soon as I say it, right? So anyone like has any funny ideas about robbing me?
Mhm.
Um, it's called The Chicken and the Condor. I'm writing a part on it called The Chicken and the Condor,
Okay.
and this is my observations of what I'm talking about. I'm a condor,
Mhm.
right? Uh, my wings need to spread, and they need to fly high and soar, right?
Mhm.
Free liberation, soaring with no tethers, just free to fly like the condor. And it's quite majestic
Yeah.
and mighty,
Yeah.
not egoic. It's just soaring in its power, not in
Right, okay.
ego, just in its power and its glory, right? Because it's a majestic being of
Golden feathers.
yes.
Yeah.
Don't know if it has golden feathers, a condor. I think it's
Yeah.
black and white, isn't it? I don't know.
No, they're
All right, let's
definitely
make it
golden.
golden. Let's make it golden condor. And then you've got the chicken.
Right, okay. Yeah,
Right? Do I need to say any more on that?
yeah. No, no, you don't. No, yeah.
And that's
Uh,
why I'm writing a part called The Chicken and the Condor. It's copywritten because I've just said it. I said what the part about. If I see that in anyone else's book, I'm having you. Right? It's called The Chicken and the Condor.
okay.
And it's about that. It's about my observations because the book I'm going to be writing, that I'm going to be completing, that I'm writing, that I'm working on, is about other. You know, first book is self, my journey. Second book is other, my observations working with other people, other humans, my fellow Earthlings, and then yeah, I'm doing another one. But you know, so in this part, chicken and condor is my working observations, working with collaborating with other people. So it's
Mhm.
observations. Which one are you, the chicken or the condor? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now maybe the condor is basking in that silence because it's flying high above in a different sort of frequency.
Mhm.
It's on a higher frequency, flying higher. So its existence is on a higher level of frequency. It's got its wings outspread and it just glides, and it doesn't have to put a lot of effort into it,
Mhm.
right? Because it's open. It's
There's a
got it.
stillness, a quietness.
There's a stillness to it. Yeah,
Mm,
exactly that.
mm.
You're with it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got the chicken. Now I've been both.
Yep.
I can be both. It's going back to what I was just saying about the car. The guy up my ass is the chicken, flapping his fucking wings around, squabbling. You know, is that what chicken? Is that how chicken? I don't know,
Yep,
but
that's a good chicken
you
noise.
know what I mean, right?
Mm,
You got a chicken, or you the condor. It's just like I'm just cruising, man.
yeah.
Don't be up my ass, chicken. Don't get up my ass, chicken, man. I don't need your fucking chicken shit today, mate. I'm cruising.
It's beautiful.
Do you like that?
Yeah, it's nice.
You
It's
relate?
yeah, yeah, I can. And it's really weird because I when I was a kid, we didn't get a TV until I was about 6 or 7, and the reason we got a TV was because I was at school and I was getting ridiculed because I didn't know what the kids are talking about. Uh, and so we got a TV, so basically I could start talking to all the other kids at school. And I really have this really vivid memory of uh of the TV arriving and the guy doing all the aerial and fixing it all up. And the first thing that came on this TV was this bird, this I don't know whether it was a condor or whether it was an eagle or whatever, but flying through some hills, like flying over this really amazing sort of landscape, like mountainous sort of yeah, incredible landscape. And that's the first thing I remember seeing on the TV.
Oh, what?
And yeah, so that's what that brought up for me when you were talking about the condor. It was my first experience of TV. Obviously, it went downhill from there on because then my mum was like, "No, you got to watch Knight Rider and the A-Team." I remember my mum forcing me to watch the A-Team. Can you imagine that? So I
Blimey,
could
yeah.
talk to the other kids at school about the A-Team. Yeah.
I always just put it out there. I always my favourite out of the 18 was Murdoch.
Okay. Yeah, it's you, isn't it? What?
Like, I kind of wanted to be Face, but I knew I didn't. I was like, I'm out of my depth with Face man. I'm like, he's out of my league, man. So I
Yeah.
just settled with Murdoch because I
Yeah.
kind of thought I'm, you know, that's more fucking viable, Murdoch.
Yeah. I feel like I've become Mr. T as I got older. I'm not getting on no plane. Not drinking no milk. That's how I feel as I've got older.
Mate, well, I'm gonna do the same as what they did to Mr. T. Then
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
they drug him? Didn't they
Yeah,
used to
yeah. They
drug
used to
him?
give him the milk and then he'd get on the plane, didn't he?
Yeah.
If someone could do that for me, I'd be quite pleased actually.
Oh, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. Just trank me out. Um, yeah, so that was one yeah, that that was my childhood. I wasn't yeah, I didn't fit in with the crowd because I didn't know what they were watching on TV. I have found as well, Condor Man was a 1981 movie starring Michael Crawford. Uh,
What? What, Frank Spencer?
Yeah, yeah. It was a Walt Disney film. Ollie Reed was in it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1981. I thought I remember that. Yeah.
My God, my brother, right, hello Paul, he does the best Frank Spencer impersonation. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. Um, okay, so hang on, how have we got to Frank Spencer, man?
Because you were talking about condors, and then I was talking about Condor Man. But we need to get back to the quiet, the stillness of the
Yeah.
condor gliding through the sky,
Mm,
and those quiet people. And I think that's why I think I mean goes back to that idea I was talking about at the beginning with that TV show I watched this week. Is we see a surface of people, we see the surface of people, we see the mask they want to present, and we have no idea how they got to that mask or what's going on underneath.
mm,
And I think there is uh, definitely for me, there's a disconnect between uh, how the mask is perceived and how
mhm,
I actually feel underneath. And that quietness is how I feel more than how I am perceived. I think I
mhm,
I feel uh, that I'm not always heard,
mhm,
and I think there is a lot of people out there that become smaller because they don't feel that they are heard. So the quiet, that sort of place of stillness. I mean, and it's not necessarily a place of stillness. So it's more a place of just reduction. Like I'm going to reduce myself down so I don't take up too much space. People don't notice me. And then it's like a vicious cycle because people don't notice you. So then you're not heard even more and you become smaller and smaller.
and that's something that do you feel you developed it? Um, is there something that, I mean, has that always been like in your formative years, or did you just wake up one day and realize this is what I have to do and this is what I need to do?
I think for me, it was a lack of confidence. I think it was, I went to uh, art college. I went and did an art degree. And definitely in that kind of world, I mean, I ended up working in, I went and did a degree that was making film. And to be a sort of 19, 20-year old and feel like I'd, n- I didn't feel like I had a story at that point that was worth telling.
Mhm,
And I think filmmakers, you've got to have a really, really clear idea of what story, what narrative you're telling, how that's going to look, all of that.
mhm,
But I think you've got to have a hell of a lot of belief in that. And I think that goes for any sort of artist, whether it's a visual artist, whether it's a musician, playwright. You've got to have a real belief in what you're putting on the page or what you're putting out to people. Because if you
mm,
don't, then no one's going to believe you.
yeah.
And so I think for me, what I felt as at that point in my life was I don't have anything to say.
Oh,
I don't have anything worthwhile. Um, and I'm in awe, and I was in awe of people at that age who were capable of going, no, this is what I've got to say. I don't know quite how they got to that point so quickly. It's taken me another 20, 25 years to think, okay, actually, no, I've got something to say. I think what I've got to say is worthwhile.
so do I. I'm your biggest advocate for that. You know I am.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't be doing this with you if I didn't think that, brother.
Thank you.
All right, you're my fellow condor. All right.
But it is yeah, it's I think it for me, I think you have to have a certain brashness and a certain confidence. And I think that's kind of how society works. I think like I work with lots of different types of families,
Mm,
and I can see the nice families, the quiet families that just go, "Oh, is this what we should have done, or this
Mhm.
happening?" They're not getting what they need.
Mhm.
Whereas I can see loud families that are just like screaming and shouting, "This isn't good enough. I need this to happen now,"
Mm.
are the ones that get what they want.
So going back to the chicken condor thing, right? So, um, like, do you think the chickens get more, they gobble up more
Mm.
because they're making a racket,
Hmm.
running around flapping their wings, making a racket?
Hmm.
It's almost like, look at me, look at me, look at me,
Hmm.
hear me.
Hmm.
Um, and the condor is like, they're above it.
Yeah.
Quite literally, they're above it. They're not
Yeah.
gonna. They're just. They're just like, I don't need to make that racket. I don't really need, because I've already got. I already. I don't need anything more than what I'm doing, which is just flying high, soaring over everything, looking down on. Not that they're looking down on people, but they're above it. They're just like, I don't need to be caught up in that flap. I don't need to flap. I saw.
I think it's a really nice analogy
Thank you.
because because if you are that person that feels like you aren't seen and you're a bit quiet, it's much nicer to think you're a condor than a flapping chicken. You know, you're some big beautiful
Exactly.
bird that
That's the
is
whole.
just yet disappearing off to your nest,
Yeah.
and not many people see you, and you're just gliding around the skies.
Yeah, there you go. So that's part of it. That's absolutely it, Ben. Hit the nail
Mm.
on the head. Thank you. So exactly that, right? So if you are someone who, because look, I may appear to be really, like, I could be a bit of a chicken sometimes, flapping on here, flap, flap, flap. But I'm also the condor. I feel like I have both modalities, man. Like, sometimes I am a chicken,
Hmm.
or I definitely have been a chicken. But I've learned to be the condor, just to rise above, to not get involved. Don't need to get entangled in all that flapping noise, just be like the condor. And so if you're listening to this and you are the timid, bit aloof, bit shy, reserved, don't feel you've got anything to say, we are saying you're the condor. But then the matter of fact is, do you feel like you're running around like a headless chicken, getting caught up, you know, with all the other, you know, because they're not free range chickens, are they? A lot of the
No, they're
chickens,
definitely in a coop.
they're in
Definitely
a
in a coop.
coop. We're in a coop. That's how life feels, doesn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah. Do you think, like, I mean, you are a creative person. Like, when you were 16, 17,
Hmm.
was there part of you was like, right, I want to be like, if you could have been anything at that point, was there like a what where would you have landed if someone said, right, here's your dream job,
America,
and what would you be doing?
California, skateboarding. I'd have a warehouse. No, not necessarily a warehouse. 5 fish.
Hmm.
Just a modest skate shop store selling my brand.
So what stopped you at that point from pursuing that?
Um, Lack of self belief, confidence, crippling anxiety. Um, and I can say now, because I didn't see it at the time, addiction. I was an active using addict, um, partial to some mind altering substances, to be precise.
So it was easier to ignore the things you wanted and just quieten them down with other substances or other
Yeah.
activities.
So look, on the outside, I'm presenting I'm a condor, right?
Yeah.
But internally, I'm fucking chicken.
And were you a chicken at that point, do you think? How long is it? When did the condor emerge from the egg?
When I when I started to fly high,
Hmm.
when I started to lift off the ground instead of just running around the ground thinking this is my lot,
Hmm.
just running around the coop pen of life.
Yeah.
When I started to, lift off,
Hmm.
elevate, raise my consciousness. Yeah, my consciousness. When I raise my consciousness, then enter Condor Man, I guess. What about you? How's it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm saying is it's taken me, I remember being at university and I did well. I did really well. I made one film I think I was really proud of, but it took a lot of yeah, it took a lot of I didn't know how to say what I was thinking or feeling, definitely. And
Mhm.
so I could make I probably had like yeah, one thing, one idea that I thought was decent. But I remember looking even, and I think this is something that's affected throughout my adult life or throughout my life is I look at what other people are doing, going, that's much better. I couldn't do that. And it's only recently, and I would say that I've got to a point where I've gone, people going, no, your stuff's good, you're
Mm.
good, and it's like okay, but I'm still wanting to be like this person. I'm on the various social medias and looking and going, well, I want to be like this artist. I really like what they've done. Why can't I do that?
Mm.
And the bottom line is I could I could copy I could copy what someone else is doing, or I could just do what I do and try and build a confidence in that. And it's taken me a long, long time to realize that. A long, long time of looking at other people and going, well, you're better than me, so I'm not going to do anything. I am very good at staying quiet and procrastinating and going, no, that's that everyone's better than me, so why should I bother to put my voice in the ring?
Okay. All right. So that what's coming up for me is I feel different variants of being quiet and what that means.
Hmm.
Because stock answer for quiet, something wrong.
Hmm.
Why are you being quiet?
Yeah.
Maybe that's one.
Mm.
I'm okay. Now the answer could be I'm okay, but inside I'm losing my fucking shizzle
Hmm.
and my mind's gone a bit wonky and I'm feeling a bit wobbly. But I'm going to answer with, no, I'm okay. There's that.
Yeah.
Or there's another response to that, which is, why are you being so quiet? And it's like, I'm okay. Same answer.
Hmm.
But genuinely, I'm just really content with sitting in silence.
Mm.
Now, I know both those different varying outcomes because I've definitely experienced both. But what I've learned, and this is what I teach all the young mavericks now, what they've learned and what I practice and what I continue to teach is to speak out. Don't hold on to stuff. We're as sick as our secrets. Anyone that's been following this show will have heard that being said before. And this is relevant.
Mm.
So it's just establishing where do you sit? Always, it always comes back to the same things. Where do you sit on this? Where do I sit on this? Am I being quiet because I am internalizing my reality and I can't speak out about it because I don't feel I've got a valid voice and I don't trust that speaking out to someone.
Mhm.
Don't know how to do it. I don't know how to articulate my truth of the matter, which is I'm saying okay if it's okay, but the reality is I'm really struggling and I need to communicate that with someone. So, what I've learned and what I teach other people is to speak out about it. We're as sick as our secrets. Now, that's one way of looking at quiet. Okay, so where do we sit on that? Because that's definitely something I know well. You know, I've done it one way and I do it another way.
What happens if you aren't aware of your secrets? Because I would argue that both of us have had times where people have said, "This is what's happening for you at this moment," and we've both gone, "No, it's not. I'm okay." It's like the secrets are so secret that you're not even aware of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's that. Is that because of a deep entrenched um sense of denial?
Hmm.
So it's delusion even. You can
Hmm.
go as far as saying it is delusion. Delusion is just not being able to have a true sense of what reality is. So you keep telling yourself, I'm all right. It's not a problem. Stop getting into me. Stop trying to fuck with my shit, man. I'm all right. Just leave it.
Mm.
Leave it. Don't want to talk about it. It's nothing to talk about. I'm okay. What are you getting on about? I'm fine. And you honestly believe that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Although the evidence is very different. I mean, look, when I start doing engagements with people, normally I get the call because it's like the A team.
Yep.
Better call Murdoch.
Yeah.
All right. No, yes. Sorry, excuse me. Got a frog in my throat
Eat the frog.
or a bit. So I get a call when there's an issue, when there's a problem. So then I start engaging. Now, normally it's me talking to, let's say, a parent, and the parent says, "This is what is going on.
Hmm.
Can you help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's engage." So then I talk to the asset, the young maverick,
Hmm.
and I always say to him, "Look, we're talking because there's a problem, but I need to hear your interpretation, version of what the problem is, because your parent sees it through a certain lens. So their experience and version of what's going on is going to be very different to yours. Tell me yours, and I won't judge. It'll be without judgment, and let's figure some shit out. I'll help you." Now, depending on where they're at, it can be a different scenario. So
Hmm.
that might be met with, okay, my parent is anxious.
Hmm.
It's not a problem. They're just overprotective. They're nagging me. I don't know, whatever. It's met with, I can't see the problem. I'm okay.
Hmm.
I'm fine. Okay. So maybe this we just need to explore this, Billy, whatever his name is, because there's some evidence that suggests
Yeah.
there might be a problem.
Hmm.
Now, very rarely do I get a phone call unless there is one.
Hmm.
So I have some evidence that's been presented to me. Can you tell me? So it's like being like not being a judge, but it is kind of like that. It's like, there's some evidence here that suggests that what you're saying isn't accurate. So
Yeah.
let's look at that. Because I'm trying to unravel and get them to that onion of the onion, the layers of the onion, that outer layer. I always say this is the first layer, the toughest layer to unpeel is the denial.
Mm.
Once you get that peeled back and you get under the denial, then we can start getting somewhere. And you know, they could start off saying, "It's not a problem, everything's cool. I just wanna, I just wanna get on with my life, be left
Mhm.
alone. Everything's fine." But then when you get into the nitty-gritty and the nuts and bolts of it all, there's definitely a problem. There's always a problem, and we start getting to it, getting to the reality of it all. So it's just them learning to trust the process, trust that there's someone like me that was not gonna judge them, that they can tell me the reality, really get past that denial part
Mhm.
to start to really see that, "Oh, okay, well, look, you're not gonna judge me on that. Alright, well, this is going on. Yeah, I'm smoking shitloads of weed and, or whatever, and it's having an adverse reaction, and I've got problem behavior,
Mm.
and my personality's been impaired because of it. And because of that, I'm acting out, and there's all of these consequences to that behavior." And on it goes, and it's like, "Right, now can you see where your mum and dad are coming from?"
Yeah.
"Oh, right, yeah, I guess so." "Right, okay, so let's try and figure some shit out." So, none of that process can happen if you remain silent.
Mhm.
So there's that link to quiet.
Mhm.
Does your life have evidence? Do you need someone to help you with introspection, to take inventory of your conduct, your life? Do you even give a fuck?
Mhm.
Is your life become so unmanageable and miserable? Are you happy?
Mhm.
Then don't change a thing. Are you blissfully unaware? And in ignorance is bliss, as they say. Damn right, ignorance is bliss.
Mm.
So are you happy with that? Then crack on. But if it's evidential, if it's evidential that there are some consequences to you remaining quiet and as sick as your secrets, then how do we learn to voice it?
Yeah, and I think it feels like, the analogy of the onion, that actually that outer skin, that outer surface is like, if we're bringing it back to quiet and loud, being the opposite, is that you create a huge amount of noise, a huge amount of turbulence in your
Mhm.
life
Mhm.
that constantly is playing, and it just, what you're trying to do almost is crack through that noise to find those inner secrets which are quiet, which are hidden, and you're trying to break through all that. We To avoid those secrets, we do so much. We are so good as humans at sort of just creating drama upon drama, or experience upon experience, that blocks out any chance of us getting to that core of the onion, of the little secret bit, the quiet bit.
Mhm.
Um, and I think yeah, I think I watch the young people I work with, and you watch them interacting with each other, and there is no quiet. It's like shouting, shouting, shouting. Da, 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 da. I did this. I did this. And then on top of that, I mean, I'd also put the fact that the phones are constantly blaring out music. If they had their choice, that's what they're almost creating a level of energy that means they don't ever have to focus on, like, okay, let's turn all that off. Let's just sit quietly and go, right, what's going on in your head at the moment?
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. It's too dark in there. It's too prickly.
Yeah.
Too difficult to go there.
Mhm.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create this noise, and the environment that I work in, when school is very loud. It's not it's very Kids can't cope with the calmness. They can't cope with there not being something to distract them from what's actually happening. And
Yeah.
it's a real challenge to get in at that point and try and get them to be reflective.
Now, do you think because your school is a certain, um, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a certain kind of candidate that will end up at your school.
Mhm.
If that's the right term. Um, there's some turbulence. I love your word. I love that word, turbulence. It's a wicked word. There's usually some turbulence that's
Mm.
caused them to end up at your school, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So do you think that's a given? That's just part of why what you just said is so, because they're coming from turbulent lives
Mm,
that they always have done. That's all they know, like you say. So they just perpetuate and create more of the same because it's like pigs in shit
mm.
kind of vibes. Excuse me. Um, do you think that it's also not just the environmental conditioning that they're like that? Do you think it's just the world we live in has a lot of turbulence in it, and
Yeah, I think
we need to quiet that out with the irony, quieting it out with noise.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think I think it might just be the experience of being young. I mean, I think, like looking, you're talking about your effects pedal and Dinosaur Jr. earlier,
Yeah.
but like, I spent my teenage years either at really, really loud indie rock gigs or at
Mm,
really loud raves.
mm,
And it's like it's almost like, right, there's a load of us here together. We can't talk, we can't hear each other. We're just, the music is so loud and it sort of blocks everything else out. Um, so I think it is it's a very whilst you're trying to work out who you are and what's going on and what those little the quiet bits, what you do in the quiet bits. I think it's much easier to have lots and lots of noise around.
mm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've just thought of something as well whilst you were saying that is I think it's styles as well, like
Okay.
personality styles,
Yeah.
like learning styles.
Hmm.
Is some people are just deep thinkers. They're they have more. They're more introverted.
Hmm.
Like I know people. I can be like this. You know, I can. I think I've said this before. I've driven from one end of the land to the other. You know, Scotland to here and back,
Hmm.
without having to listen to any music in the car. I can do that. Just be and drive,
Hmm.
and just be okay with that stillness of mind. Literally. Now, I'm not just trying to, you know, peacock myself and say, "Oh, look at me, I can drag the," you know, it's not. I'm not saying it for that. I'm saying it because it's happened. I've done it.
Yeah.
I can do it. You know, it's not just here in this country. I've done it all over the place. You know, I can. I've done flights, a lot of long haul flights where I don't put my earpods in or I don't zone out on movies. I'll just sit and be and people watch.
Hmm.
Yeah. I always talk about it, you know, when I'm going out walking in nature, I want to be present, and I always go back to the five senses, you know, and I'll say it again, you know, about boring people. We've got five sensory capabilities,
Hmm.
you know, and it's really good to get attuned to them and use them. So I'm not desensitized to life and myself, that I'm in rhythm and sync with myself and to life and my surroundings.
Hmm.
So I'm dialed in, I'm tuned in to the right frequency. Um, and it's really hard to do that. So, you know, it's hard to do it. I believe. For some, it might come naturally and it's just not a problem. But I think default setting, modern world, it's quite hard to do it.
Mhm.
So it takes a bit of practice and some discipline and some heart if you can be asked to do it. But it's really not. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. But I also like, well, after today, hopefully, I also like, I'm going to enjoy plugging in my big muff and deep diving into my big muff.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. The noises you're gonna make.
I'm trying to not, I'm trying to hold the silence there because I wanted to stop talking for a bit.
Okay.
Can you take over, please?
Alright. Yeah. Yeah. I think I mean, it would drive me absolutely nuts. Literally, I could not drive without music. It absolutely chills me out and takes me away from the thoughts of driving. So, yeah. It's weird. I go through stages where I think I know. I mean, I've said that, I've had this pointed out to me before. I think it was actually my daughter that pointed it out. She's like, "You've always got music on. There's always something playing. There's very rarely silence. And then when there are silences, yeah, I find it hard to sit in silence. Um, I do feel the need for there always to be something playing, some noise that exists outside of me.
Mm. No. I used to, well, like, when I was, you asked me 16, 17, I remember even when I was still at school, but definitely 16, 17, because that's when I made an attempt to be at art college. And I was really into mixing, you know.
Mhm.
I started mixing on a old school double twin deck tape deck with a radio, and it had um, a turntable on the top, you know, for vinyl. And I used to cut my mixing. I used to cut between, I put tape in and cut between vinyl and radio channels, and cut, and that was my mixing
Mhm.
before I was fortunate enough to land a proper mixer and some turntables. And I got into it properly, started mixing vinyl. Oh, I love that. And I, you know, every night I'd make my own mixtapes. So I'd mix up drum and bass, hardcore rave, whatever, electro, whatever. I'd do my own mixes, and then I'd play them. And it weren't just mine. I'd go up Camden Market and see the guy on the mixtape stall. I don't know if you remember a guy out there. There was a couple
Mhm.
of them, and I used to buy mixtapes up there
Mhm.
in Camden Market, and I'd go back and play them on my tape deck at night when
Yeah.
I'm lying in bed. And I normally have a doobs out the window, and and I'd lie there in a cocoon of mashup, listening to drum and bass on my tape deck,
Mm.
to go to sleep. I had to, and then as the Walkman, there are other brands of stereophonic. What would you call them? Tape decks, isn't they? The old school
Mm.
tape decks. Bring back fucking tape decks, please. Um, and you've just bought one, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to do a shout out to that about what
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to do. So we're what's to do now? Doing mixtapes.
Yeah,
We're going to do mixtapes, people.
yeah. We're gonna try and put an emotional, uh, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Emotional
Sound,
playlist.
yeah,
Emotional soundtrack.
yeah,
Emotional
emotional
soundtrack.
soundtrack to each
Well,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we'll start with aggression, which feels a long time ago now, but, yeah, we'll start putting playlists alongside each of the episodes we've released.
yeah. We'll do proper links to that at the end of this
Yeah.
episode. But just to pick it back up, I used to And then so I used to have to sleep. I couldn't have silence.
Mm.
So the two things there for me are I used to have to have a wow man,
Yeah.
yeah. So I used to have the old magic tobacco, you know, ganja man, all of that. I used to have to get stoned to shut my head up or to
Mhm.
make an attempt to turn the dial down from like freaking Spinal Tap 11 to maybe a 3
Mhm.
if I was lucky. To just dampen out the noise in my head. Attempts of getting silence, quietening my mind, slowing it down. And then the irony, and then I'd put in my drum and bass mixtape
Yeah, yeah.
to go
To
to
add it
sleep,
to add a different noise on top.
to
Yeah.
give it a bit of ambience.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't need freaking whale noises and dolphin noises. Got a bit of drum and bass, mate.
Yeah.
So that was me. That's where I was at 16, 15, 16, definitely 17. Um, and then it was around about that time, actually. I think I was 16, 17 when I had my first, what I knew to be panic attack. I had one in
Mhm.
college on the first day of college, on the week before we started college. And then I ended up in a doctor's surgery in the first term because I'd had a really mad panic attack, which I thought was a heart attack. And he diagnosed it as being like I'm a manic, anxious, hypersensitive, depressant sort of person. I think that's what come out of it. But I never had a formal diagnosis, so I just
Mhm.
thought, oh great, well I'll just carry on smoking weed then, smoking hash. But so that's where my head was at. I was a chicken.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
sorry, just to do you think your head was louder then?
What than it is now?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah,
So
100%.
what was the noise at that point?
Unprocessed trauma.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, somatically, physically, my nervous system was holding a lot of pain and a lot of angst,
Mhm.
and the psycho reactive um, reaction to that, if that's the right word,
Mhm.
psychoactive reaction to that was I had a noisy head,
Yeah, yeah.
overthinking, intrusive thoughts, you know, maybe ADHD even, untreated,
Mhm.
undiagnosed. I don't know. I don't know. Never, I've never really been compelled to really go back into it all because I don't feel I need to.
Mm.
I feel like I'm a condor now, I'm gliding. And the days that I might end up feeling like a bit of a chicken, which was the other day, someone actually noted to me that I was like, "You're a bit of a chicken today." They didn't say that, but God, I've put it down to, yeah, I've got cabin fever, man.
Yeah.
It's been with myself a lot more, and I'm used to being with myself a lot, and I'm happy with that, and I'm pretty calm with myself and like myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I feel relaxed. I feel I can regulate my emotions in a healthy way. I can communicate and speak out. Someone says, "Oh, you're all right. You seem a bit off today." Yeah, I feel a bit, bit whacked today. And I just put it down so I can lay it out. I've got self awareness to be able to go, yeah, this is it. This is why, and it's okay, and it'll pass, and I can do some things to change it.
So, in terms of the noise, do you think the noise was like always at 11 until it wasn't? And was it a sudden stop, or was it a long fade out? Like
Ooh.
like for me, I could feel like there was a sudden stop or a sudden realization in terms of there was a point where it all just got too much.
Well, look, so I've just pulled a quote, right, which I took on a long haul flight. Actually, it just prompted me. I was talking about long haul flights and sitting in silence, but
Mm.
I pulled a quote when I was on a flight to America,
Mhm.
and it's from a film. And it's from the quote is it says anonymous at the end of it, the quote, and it's at the beginning of a film. I can't remember what film, but it was a long haul flight where I did have some what I was saying. I'd have a lot of stillness time. I'm just people watching, or I might talk. I'm the guy that might talk to you. So if you end up sitting next to me on a flight, you're fucked. I will talk to you. But I know how to read the room. I can see if you don't want to talk and you're not into it, then of course I'm not stupid. But I'm the guy that will talk for like 10 hours on a
Okay.
long haul flight, not constantly talking at you. Like, I'd want to, I'm sitting next to you for fucking 10 hours. It's weird, isn't it? How we get on a flight and we just like, oh, don't talk to me. Like, it's okay to talk to people, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, this quote is off of a movie that I watched, and it was at the beginning, it just came up as a quote. I'm going to read it, right? It says, "Beware the quiet man,
Mhm.
for while others speak, he watches, and while others act, he plans. And when they finally rest, he strikes." All right.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm right in saying so, that's to do with something where there's some calculation, maybe some coercion associated to that. It was someone that had great power, and they were in a position of power, and they were calculating it was a strategic thing where they
Mhm.
just, you know. Now, I was saying earlier about the CEO, that businessman who had this company, and it's kind of like you could relate that to that.
Mhm.
He was the sort of person that could just, the quiet man, for while others speak, he watches and he's calculating. And while others act, he plans. He's methodical, right? He's not talk, talk, talk. He's just the quiet man. And when they finally rest, and, when the chickens finally burn themselves out and have to fucking just fall over because they've been running around so much, that's when he goes into action. He strikes. Now, strike is a powerful word. He strikes.
Mm.
So this is related to, I think, a power play, right? Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm certain actually, that you can relate that to narcissism. It could be a narcissist trait, calculating, coercion, manipulation, right? Manipulation,
Manipulation.
manipulation. But I'm relating it to what you just said. You asked me that question,
Mm.
because that was me in my formative years, right? Ask me if I'm all right, I'll be the quiet man,
Yeah.
right? I'm pensive. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm timid. I'm passive. I don't know how to articulate myself, so I don't talk about it. I don't speak, right? But when everyone's least expecting it, I'll change the word from "he strikes" to "he has a fucking meltdown." You know what I mean? Periodically in my life, I've got the evidence. I'd have a periodical everything. I've got this cool trying to present the condor,
Mhm.
but periodically it just be evidential. It'd all fall apart, and it would all spew out. I couldn't hold that pretense long enough. It would always bleh, there you go. No, he's not a condor. He's a fucking mess. Because I was carrying around stuff that I was yet to deal with.
Mhm.
Always comes back to that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I just said?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just wondering in terms of what I was asking as to whether we don't even know the noise is there, I guess. So that's why I'm wondering whether it's like a sudden someone's turned it all off and you've crashed, or whether it's like a long, slow sort of fade out. It's just getting quieter and quieter, and you come to terms with all that noise, and
Mm.
you're trying to find the quiet, um, and sit in the quiet, but it's it's a really difficult job to do because yeah, you're not quite sure what's there. You're not quite sure
Mm.
what you're going to find.
And it makes sense that we might wanna, um, suppress, bottle, um, what other ways of putting it? You know, if
Very little.
yeah,
Yeah.
because and it's coping, it's survival, it's tools for survival, it's strategies for survival. For me, going back to what I was saying, to have a means to be able to turn that dial down, the volume, to my own interpretation or sense of quiet at that time in my life, to shut my head up,
Mm.
to shut that head up of mine. There's there's um there's some safety in sound. I'm using safety in sound. That's my dear friend Mike, who is a fucking incredible artist, musician, and his album Safety and Sound. I'm pretty sure his album's called Safety and Sound. Lower Than Atlantis. They've disbanded now. He's got a new band that he's working on, I think. But he wrote an album called Safety and Sound, and that's what it meant to him. And I really loved that. And I said to him, "Oh, I love that. I'm going to use that." So I've used it. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
But safety and sound. There's some
Yeah.
safety and sound. There's some solitude there for people, including me.
Yeah.
Now, just because I don't listen, I'm not saying I never listen to music when I'm driving.
Hmm.
I'm saying I can not have to do that. I've got the ability. I've learned. This is the beautiful thing. I used to have to rely on that safety and sound. So I didn't have to be with my thoughts, my head, myself, be sitting in that discomfort. But I've learned through, well, it helps when purge in a healthy way.
Mm.
The nervous system. It's all about my nervous system for me.
Yep.
Nervous system. Where you at with that? My nervous system was really amplified, which is why I had to do it in a certain way. And then, you know, that ended. Learned about why I was doing it like that, blah, 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 and started to reduce the amplification in my nervous system. And with that came a lessening of an intrusive, overactive mind. I
Mm.
started to process and reduce the levels of amplification in my nervous system. And I had a calmer nervous system and a calmer response to it, to being in my body. I could drop my shoulders and feel more relaxed and comfortable in my own skin and be like, I can relax now because I've managed to process and reduce, that PTSD in my nervous system.
Mm.
And then with that came a calmer response in my mind, and it helps doing a bit of study on what is going on about meditation, all that stuff. But there's a lot of stuff in there. So, but I still love music. I'm getting a big muff. Getting a big muff, man. I'm gonna plug that big muff into my amp, and I'm gonna crank that up to an 11. I'm
Yep.
gonna make a racket.
Hmm.
I'm gonna absolutely bask in the big muff soundscape. So
I
it's
really hope they've got one in stock today. Otherwise,
I
your excited little boy is going to be very upset.
know, I know. So look, I'm just saying it's like it's okay. You can have both. You don't have to just settle for one thing.
Yeah, I think it goes for me uh in a sense of actually not being aware of not knowing what the senses are, of not of needing overstimulation to trigger those senses, I
Mm.
think, for me. So, like, taste has to be extreme, you know? I don't yeah, like, I listen to music very loud. You know, I'm very comfortable being overstimulated because I feel like that's what I need to sort of trigger those senses.
Mm.
So I think it's, yeah, I'm very good at retreating into that sort of world, and I need quite extreme uh, stimulation to pull me out of it.
Mhm.
So I know I'm just thinking about driving and why I have my music so loud, and I think it keeps me present. I think if I'm silent, then I would drift and I'd start daydreaming and I'd go somewhere else, and that would be more dangerous than on a motorway than it would to have my music blaring out loud.
We're going into central reservation of the
Yeah, yeah,
M25.
yeah.
Be like, why was there a pile up? Why were we stuck for 8 hours on the M25? Geezer turned his fucking music off.
Started thinking, started being present. Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes back to styles, because everything I'm saying, it's not so black and white. It doesn't mean that, you know, what I'm saying is, and that's what is for everyone. You know, it's just what
Mm,
it's like for me. This is my experience. This is what TVR is us, you know, downloading our experience, topical, you know, related to what we're talking about.
mhm,
That's my experience. Doesn't mean that it's for everyone else. You know, I think it's styles. What style are you?
mm,
There's no right or wrong. Doesn't mean, oh, if you can't sit in silence and whilst driving, or you can't sit in silence, you have to listen to stuff all the time, then there's a problem. You
no,
know, it doesn't mean that. But I'm just unpacking what it's been for me and how I relate to what we're talking about. And there's
mhm,
this way and there's this way, and do you know what I mean? And you're sharing your way. So it's, you know, this whole the Velvet Revolution, you know, that we're doing, we always it comes back to this. It's like the noise of the world that's out there, you know, this amplification, this kind of sense that there's a lot of noise out there, and is it all good noise? You know, what is it? What's the vibration that we're tuning into? What frequency are we on? Are we seeking a calmer, you know, do we want to be like gliding like the condor, or are we happy tapping into the chicken coop
mhm,
that all feel like we're about to get our heads cut off
mhm.
and served up on a fucking platter? You know what I mean? Like, where you at with that? So all we're doing with this is just serving up some 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 contemplative, topical viewpoints for reflection.
Of
And
course.
maybe if you have a bit of a giggle along the way, or you get a takeaway, you know, take what you need, leave the rest, man.
Mm,
But it starts with, you know, always starts with me, with us, with you, with us.
mhm.
Like, what do I what am I looking for in life? What do I need? Do I feel liberated? You know,
Yeah, I
do
think
I
we're
feel
trying.
liberated?
Yeah, I think we're trying to expand, grow, build a community of like-minded people that that are looking to be more present and are looking to be more conscious. And
Yeah.
and I think, you know, whether you're want your music 10 up to 11 or whether you want it down at 2, it's up to you. But
Yeah.
it's about being conscious of why,
Yeah.
and that you're part of something.
What's your motive?
Yeah.
Why are you listening to I don't know, I'm trying to think of something I don't want to say.
The Ace of Spades came straight into my head. I don't know why.
Fucking hell, yeah. I know, man. Anyway, so do you think with as always, we get onto these topics and it's like we could go on. I mean, we have to cap them because we could go on and on. I know I can anyway. Go
Mm.
on and on and on. Don't want to.
10 hours on a flight, mate. Careful, you don't sit next to Dave
Yes.
No Fault. Can I change seats, please?
I met my match on my last flight back from America, from Los Angeles. I met my match, man. I was sitting on a row of three,
Uh-huh.
with the leg space. So it's like, and there was these two. They were from Las Vegas, bottle girls.
Right.
You know what bottle girls are?
No, tell
They're
me.
the shot girls.
Oh, okay. They go
They
around
walk
with
around the clubs with the shots.
yeah.
They make quite a bit of money, man.
Okay.
And they were like, they were beautiful young ladies, man. And they were going to London.
Right.
I'm not gonna say why, but they were going to London. First trip to London,
Mm-hmm.
and they were they were they were slamming tablets to try and knock themselves out, and they just couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I left them to it. We had a little chat, little check in,
Mm-hmm.
and then they couldn't sleep. They were restless. They kept wriggling around. They were quite tiny, and they kept wriggling around, and and they resigned to the fact they couldn't sleep on the flight. And the reason was they were stressed out was because they had their phone. They had the new upgrade phones with the new charger ports on their phones, so they couldn't plug into the old school phone plug in on the USBs on the
Right.
phone. So that that I think, well, I know because they talked to me about it. They were like getting really stressed because I still have the old school plug
Mm-hmm.
in. So I was like, oh, I've got a plug in. Anyway, so it resulted in them talking to me for most of the flight. I was well chuffed. It was like, yes, finally someone wants to talk. Anyway, yeah, it
There
is
you go.
possible to talk to strangers on planes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not everyone's a weirdo. Um, so do you feel like we've got it?
Yeah, I think we're good. And yeah, I think we just need to yeah, I think we need to talk quickly about how we're trying to expand the universe of TVR.
All right, go on then.
Um and I think, like we briefly mentioned it earlier, but we've talked about zines and we've talked about playlists now, and we're just trying to build a collection, I guess, a sort of treasury of things related to what we love in terms of culture and music and the arts, and just have tactile stuff, things that analog that we can hold and actually connect to. And that's how we're trying to build this community and build this universe. So the next thing we're sort of looking at, as we talked about earlier, with this sort of playlists, mixtapes, and actually having digital playlists that are available, but maybe we might, not quite sure about copyright, but we may create some analog tapes, and they may be available at
I've got a
certain
way
points.
around it. I
Go
think I've
on.
got a way around the copyright thing. May need to talk to a lawyer, but a music lawyer. But so I just had this thought that um the way to do it is, if anyone can be fucking asked to um want a tape deck, if you even got a tape deck, but you don't have to have a tape deck, man. I mean, you've just gone and bought a tape deck, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, I
So
have.
they're out there.
Oh,
And
yeah,
yeah,
they definitely are.
and I know my bro, and if you're listening, bro, like mum in her loft, she's got all your like my brother emigrated a
Mm.
few years back to Australasia, and he's in Tassie, and he's got a gold mine treasure chest of all his stuff from like the 80s, and yeah, all tapes, and oh, it's golden. But there's something really beautiful about having that in your hand, man.
Mm.
Really, there's a lot of artists that still want to do 4 track, and want to record on tape and all of that stuff, because there's something really special about it.
Mm.
And that's what we want to advocate for that, right? We want to advocate for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thought was that if someone wanted to have a mixtape, man, and we can compile it, just tell us episode you want to do the soundtrack from. I think what we're going to do, am I right? We've started to do it. So by the time you listen to this, they'll already be up there.
Yeah.
So you go to the velvetrevolutionpod.com. There'll be links on there to get
Mhm.
the playlists, but they'll be on Apple and Spotify, which
Yeah.
is where we sit on those for the podcast. And we're compiling, as you said, Ben, we're compiling the soundscape to the podcast, to the episode. So you've got aggression, you've got boastful, you've got, what else we got? Compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be really impressed if you rattle through them all just off the top of your
compassion,
head. Deflection,
deflection. I know.
empathy,
So
frustration.
there,
Oh, I can't remember what G is.
there we go. So, and it's going to be, yeah, like a TVR, Velvet Revolution podcast mixtape.
Yeah.
So they'll be up on Spotify and Apple. Have a look, check them out. And if you like the playlist, if you like what we've put on there, because me and Ben have compiled it, maybe get in touch, you know, email,
Mm-hmm.
join us at the velvetrevolutionpod.com. If you want a mixtape, and we'll bang one out. Ben, you'll bang one out when you
Mm-hmm.
got the tape
Mm-hmm.
deck. And that's how we get around it. Because
Yeah.
we mail them out to people, old school,
Yeah.
like proper late 80s, early 90s vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want a mixtape and an actual physical, like not just the playlist that you add on Spotify or Apple, if you actually want a physical mixtape,
Yeah.
then
We'll set up on Camden Market. So
ah,
pirate radio station.
yes, there
Tapes.
we go. Anyway, that's enough of that. But yeah, I like it. I like where we're going with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
It's another part of the galaxy we're creating.
Yeah, just trying to maintain, to salvage a little piece of analog,
Hmm.
so we're not completely lost to the new digital age. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I think we're good. So till the next time. Thank you so much as ever. Have a good week
Yeah.
and take care of yourself and speak next time.
Yeah. I'll let you know. I'll get on with my big muff.
Please do. Take
Right.
care, mate.
Take care, Mr. Rice. See you later, man.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.